And today we're doing something scientific. Headers versus max wedge versus high performance manifolds on the big block Mopar. So are you guys ready? Hi, my name is Nick. Welcome to my shop, Nick's Garage. And of course, if you guys have watched a lot of my videos, I do a lot of 440s. Here's another one right here. I've got a 440 here that Alain has bought from another customer of mine from a 69 Roadrunner, that a client of mine that bought the car a few years ago. Alain has a 64 Dodge Polara at home with a 318 poly, but he wants to remove that engine and he wants to go to a big block 440, as he's got one right here. So this is an engine that he bought off of Pierre that came from the 69 Roadrunner. We have no idea what kind of power it's going to make. It's not built by me. I don't know who built it, how long ago, I do not know. But anyways, it is a 446 pack, and our job here is to find out what kind of power this engine is making. He wants to know, Nick, it's an old engine, you know, I never ran it. I bought it as a engine parked in the shop, and then I bought it from Pierre. And then I said, you know what, let's put in the dyno and see what it can do. I was ready to put the 440 on the dynamometer and put a set of headers like I do testing with all my 440s. But Alain, since he has a 64 Polara, and you know back then they had the 413 or the 426 max wedge motor, they had these special high ram exhaust manifolds right here. And he wanted to put it in his car the way you see it here on this dynamometer. So this is going to be something unique. I've never tested a 440. Well, 426, 413, or the 440, they're all RB blocks. These exhaust manifolds fit on all these engines anyways. But since he's got a 64, he wanted to go with these exhaust manifolds. And I've never tested an engine with these manifolds on the dynamometer. So I'm curious. I'm going to get it running. I wanted to see what it's going to do. And then, just from my personal experience, I want to try a set of headers later on, and also a set of exhaust manifolds, high performance from the 440 engine. So we're going to do all three tests today on the same dyno, same engine, with the same fuel. So are you guys ready? Max wedge manifolds, high performance exhaust manifolds, or the hooker headers. So what do you think? So I've got Vasily with me today to help me out with the exchange one after the other. It's going to be time consuming. So we're going to make a few tests of each setup, and then we're going to overlap it on the computer so you guys can see on the graph the three differences. We just had the carburetors installed. I don't know if they're going to be working good or not. We haven't put fuel in it. So Vasily's going to put fuel in it right now with the pump, and we're going to get it going. And hopefully they work, and if we have to make some adjustments maybe. I know the timing is pretty good. But anyways, let's get it started and see how it goes. Okay, go ahead, start it. Dyno. I'm just gonna make one run, just warm it up. Here we go. Okay, then we just got the block heat sink. So we're gonna start testing in a few minutes. I think we should back up the timing a bit. It was a bit too much. Did you hear it pinging, Vasily?
No.
I heard it pinging.
You did?
I think so. It's got a nice lumpy idle. Did you notice that? He's got a big cam there. You can see the vacuum was pretty low. So the engine's making just over 400 horsepower. This engine was not built by us. I don't know who built it. It does not matter. He doesn't care about horsepower. He just wants to see, make sure the motor runs good, and he has these exhaust manifolds to see what kind of power it's making. All right. I'm just debating if I should back up the timing a little bit. I'm gonna back it up 2 degrees. I know I will. Okay, here we go. We had 38 degrees, but I put it down to 36. That's all I want to start doing all my tests at. I doubt very much if we're going to have to play with timing on the exhaust manifolds versus headers versus the high performance manifolds. Doesn't matter, we're going to have a ballpark figure. So I'm ready to proceed testing. And here we go. We're going to do our first 2-3 tests with the max wedge manifolds on this 440. We're going to sum up the horsepower, and then we're going to go with the exhaust manifolds high performance from Chrysler. And after that, we're going to finish it off with a set of headers, 1 7/8. So you guys, you ready? Let's get started. I need to get the water a little bit warmer than 150 degrees. I like to bring it close to 180 degrees Fahrenheit. So let me adjust my thermostat on the dyno. We all know that the temperature, the water coolant temperature in the car doesn't run 150. We're going to try to set it at 180 so I can do all my tests at the same temperature, 180 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, let's get it running. Here we go. I'm trying to get the water, it just keeps going too cold. Well, water must be frozen out there. Why? No, it's too cold. Okay, we're 174 degrees Fahrenheit, 175, I think we're good. Here we go. Here we go. Let's check it out now. Here's our first test. All right, water cooler down, 180, 189, that's okay. All right, here we go. There we go, the horsepower is 409 at 4,900 RPM. Okay, so we're in the same horsepower, even though I backed up the timing 2 degrees. We are 36 degrees right now. I'm gonna leave it there. We're gonna do all our testing there. We're gonna do the temperature around 175, 180 degrees Fahrenheit. And here we have it. This is test number 1. So we're going to continue all our tests after this. So let's make another run back to back. We're going to make 3 tests on every setup. So let's go again. Are we ready? Test number 2, here we go. Okay. Here we go. That's test number 2. That's how we did it. We just want to make sure it stays consistent. Oh, wow. Got a little bit more this time. Let me just print this out. There we go. I want to check my air-fuel ratio. Air-fuel ratio is good. 12.8, 12.9. Air-fuel ratio is good on full throttle. And this one here, we pulled out at 411.7 at 5,000 RPM. Anyways, we're going to check all this after. We did no change, 36 degrees, 91 octane, because it's only got 165 cylinder pressure. We're running 91 octane with the max wedge exhaust manifolds and 36 degrees timing. Okay, I'll cool it down. And we'll make a third test. Okay, let's go, another test, back to back. What do you say, you guys? You ready? Let's go. Okay. Should bring the RPM down. It has a high idle. Okay, here we go. Wow, it seems to be getting more and more power as we're warming it up. Now we got 414 at 5,000 RPM. Here we go. This is test number 3. Wow, this is the first time I've got max wedge manifolds on my dynamometer doing test. And you know what? It's still holding over 400 horsepower easily. It's a mild engine, but it seems to be bringing in 410 to 414 horsepower between our 3 tests. We'll vary 3 horsepower in our last 3 tests here on the max wedge manifolds. Our torque numbers, just to take a look, we're in the range of 450, 446, and 449. So we're average of 449, 450 torque. Anyways, we've done 3 tests with the max wedge manifolds. So now we're gonna take them off. We're gonna put on our high performance exhaust manifolds and see how it goes. There's no shields underneath the valve covers where the openings are, so I just found, I've just located 2 breathers. I'm gonna put them in there for now. That makes no change in horsepower, let me tell you, it's just a breather. I don't want the oil splashing on the manifolds like it did earlier. So I'm gonna put 2 breathers on, and then let's switch over to the Magnum or Super Commando exhaust manifolds. Here we go. Now, this one seems to be touching, but it's okay. We're gonna take them off right now. I'm going to try these new header gaskets, so this way I eliminate using silicone on my dyno testing every time I replace the exhaust headers or manifolds or whatever. So I got these aluminumized header gaskets, so I'm going to put them on. So this way we can put our Magnum performance manifold, and after that remove the manifolds and put onto the headers. So let's see if they work. I'm trying them out for the first time. The purpose I'm using this, so I can reuse them all the time. So let's try it. We're gonna put on the manifolds, and after that we're gonna go with headers with the same gasket. Here we are, we have our 3 setups. Magnum high performance exhaust manifold, max wedge, 1/7/8 headers. So we're gonna do all the tests, like I said, one by one. 3 tests per setup, and I wanted to show you something else. Look at the opening on the exhaust manifold on the Magnum Super Commando High Performance. Almost 2.5 inches. Now if we go to the max wedge, we have an easy 2 3/4 opening. So there you have it. You're going to need a 2.5 inch pipe on this one and a 3 inch exhaust pipe on this one. There's your difference. Alright, so we just finished testing our 440 here with the Max Wedge manifold, which we just had removed right here. And now we've just installed the high performance manifolds, which is the 440 Magnum or the Super Commando that come on high performance 440s right here. We're going to compare it after with the Max Wedge manifolds, and after that later on at the end we're going to go with the 1/7/8 headers. You know, with these manifolds are much lower than the Max Wedge. Max Wedge would go up to here, and if you want to lean over, work on the carburetor, you gotta watch out you don't get burned. But these manifolds are much lower, much smaller also. So are they gonna perform just as good? I don't know. But you know what? Let's make a test and find out. Hey, let's can't wait to get it started. Vasily, you ready? Let's go, man. You notice it's got that lumpy idle. It's got a big cam in there. And it's a mild 440. So let's start there and test with the high performance manifolds. Here we go. Looks like we're going to have to burn the paint off the manifolds. That's why it's smoking up like that. Anyways, doesn't matter that we're in storage, but we're here to try them out. Sounds like a Harley Davidson. We're going to do 3 tests back to back to back. Okay, let's see what we got. All right, we've taken off the max wedge manifolds, and now we're with the high performance manifolds. This is only our first test, you guys, so we're gonna make 2 more tests after that, but there is sure a lot of paint on those manifolds and they're smoking up, and I wanna make sure the air is not drifting into the carburetor while we're doing a full throttle test. Anyways, let's see what's going on here. Looks like we've lost 35 horsepower. We're at 375 versus what? 410, 414? We lost like 35 to 40 HP with the manifolds versus max wedge manifolds. And the torque, if I remember correctly earlier, we had an average of 450, I believe, and now, God, we lost all kinds. We got nowhere near the 400s. Look at that, 389 torque. That's it? No good, eh? That's it. No torque at all. Anyways, let's make another test. Here we go. Test number 2, here we go. Just warming it up a little bit to get the same temperature, cooling temperature. Here we go. $380 in the torque. We have nowhere near 400. 395, 397, 398. We're almost at 400 torque. Wow, we lost a lot of torque with these exhaust manifolds. So we're gonna go back to back with another test. Like I said, we're gonna do 3 tests per setup. We did 3 with the max wedge. Now we're gonna do 3 with the high performance manifolds. But from what I see here, we're 30 to 35 horsepower less right now with test number 2. And the torque, we got almost 400 torque. Nothing like before with the max wedge. We had 450 on the max wedge manifolds. Anyways, doesn't matter. We're gonna overlay it later on the graphs. We're gonna see everything. So right now, let's make 1 more test with the exhaust manifolds. Water temperature up. And there's our 3rd test. Back to 375 again. It is what it is, eh? And there we have it. We're back at 375 horsepower. Well, it looks like we're running 375, 380 versus 414 with the max wedge. And with the torque numbers, we're almost at 400. Meanwhile, the max wedge made 450. So we lost easy 50 torque with these regular high performance manifolds versus the max wedge. And it looks like the max wedge is the winner on this, let me tell you. Big difference. So there you go, lost 50 torque, 35 HP. And a good choice would be the max wedge manifolds. Wow. It really surprised me. We lost 50 torque with those manifolds. 50 pounds of torque we lost. I can't believe it. Horsepower, 30-35. Those max wedge exhaust manifolds really work. All right, so now for our last test, let's go with the headers, which everybody presumes the winner. So let's go on with the headers. Here we go. And here we are on our final test, test number 3, with the 1 7/8 headers on this 440. We just finished testing with our high performance exhaust manifolds versus what we've done earlier with the max wedge manifolds. And now we're gonna do our test with the headers. You know, exhaust manifolds are a lot easier to install in the cars than it is with headers. But a lot of the people, when it comes to high performance, everyone installs headers. So let's get it running and see what it does. The dyno tells you the truth. But see, I gotta warm it up. It's really a cold engine. Look at that, 114 degrees. I'm gonna have to warm it up, check for exhaust leaks, and here we go. Running lean on headers. We got the headers on it. It seems to run lean on idle, so I don't care about that right now. We're looking at horsepower at full throttle, so we're just about to get going. All right, let's get going. Well, you know, that's our first test. We're gonna make 2 more after this. Here, just take a ballpark figure what's going on. Wow, 412, 413 at 5,200 RPM. 452 torque. We seem to have the same results with the Max Wedge manifolds. Let's make 2 more tests and find out. Okay, I think we're ready. Let's go. Make another test. Hit it. Hit it. We're not gonna play with timing or air fuel ratio. I'm just giving you ballpark figures, you guys. We're only testing full throttle, so I'm not gonna put a lot of time into detailing into timing and air fuel ratio. We're just gonna do 3 tests on each setup that we have, and we'll take it from there. What's that? Wait, I gotta see what's going on here. Okay, rev it up, rev it up. After making the second test with the headers, it seems to be improving. We're at 418.5 at 5,300 RPM. We surpassed the 415 from the Max Wedge manifolds. And the torque has gone up to 456.5 at 4,300 RPM. So let's make another test to see, we're gonna combine them all together, see what our results gonna be between the 3 of them. And from what I see, the winner is gonna be the headers. And you know what? Just a slight margin over the Max Wedge manifolds. And then we just got to see what that smoke is. Did you see where the smoke came from?
Yeah, the valve cover is leaking.
Valve cover? Yeah. Oh God. You know what? Needs tightening or anything like that? Or I just want to make 1 more test to get it over with before we take them off. Or it's the breather maybe. Is the bolt?
Maybe.
Could be the breather. It could be the breather, Vasily. Let me see, is the washer loose on the valve cover?
Yeah.
Yeah, take it off, take it off. One of the bolts seems to be too long in the valve cover, so we're gonna put a few washers to compress the gasket on the valve cover, so I could go further testing with my headers.
They are too long.
They are too long, eh?
All of them.
Well, you know what, I don't know what the lens is gonna go with, what valve covers. I just wanted to keep just enough, just to make the test for the exhaust setup. Add a few washers. I don't want to see no smoke when we do any further testing. I want to finish it off with the headers. Come on, we got to do 1 more test with headers. It seems like the headers are the winners, but let me tell you, the Max Wedge manifolds are very close to the headers. So let's make 1 more test with the headers. Let Vasily compress the valve cover gasket on the right hand side, and then after that, let's make 1 more test. Okay. We're ready to make our final test? Let's go. to get it at water temperature 175, 180 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, we're ready. Here we go. All right, there's our final test with the headers. This seems to be the most powerful test of all. We pulled out a 418.5 horsepower at 5,200 RPM and exactly 463 torque at 4,300. So the headers is the winner between them all, but not much, eh? By not much on the versus the. I'm going to overlap it right now so you guys will take a good view. So we took 3 tests of every setup. So we took the highest horsepower and torque reading on each setup. So we overlapped it on a graph, like so. And I'm going to just tell you guys that we all know that the lowest graph, which is the lowest line, we know that is the high performance exhaust manifolds. Then the one in between, we go to the max wedge manifolds, which is a lot higher than the exhaust manifolds, which is the second line up further. And then our final test with the headers is the highest line. So there you have it. Headers, max wedge, and HP manifolds, all in one overlaid graph. There you go, you guys. There you have it. And the one thing we haven't talked about is the weight. I got an old bathroom scale here that works for me. And I just wanted to weigh, let's say, for example, the right-hand side exhaust manifold. Let's take the HP manifold right here. Let's weigh it, and we got 18 pounds. Now, let's take the max wedge manifold. See how much this one weighs. This one comes in around 33 pounds. There you have it. So you know that the max wedge manifold is a lot heavier. But you know, I wonder why Chrysler didn't stay with these manifolds in the late 60s and 70s muscle cars. They did perform just as good as a header, nothing like the exhaust manifolds that they had in the Super Commandos and Magnum. But for what reason, I do not know. But here we go again. Max wedge manifolds, that was our first test. Then the second test was our HP manifolds. And then at the end, we went out with the headers at 1 7/8. So there we go, you guys. We did a little scientific test. I don't know if anybody's done it before. You know, it's the first time I've had the max wedge manifolds in my shop, so I had to try them on. I really wanted to compare with the HP manifolds. So now that I realize I never knew those manifolds, max wedge really work. Okay, they weigh a lot more than HP manifolds, but you know what? They're good looking, they're a little bit heavier, but you know what? They sure improve the power on them, let me tell you. So thanks for joining me here with our little scientific test we did with our dyno and the 3 sets of different exhaust systems. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and you guys stay safe, and thank you for watching. And you guys, if you look down below the video, we have a whole bunch of merchandise that you guys can buy. So whatever you like, buy it, love it, wear it, and enjoy it. And help spread the word of Nick's Garage. And if you have some time, check out our Patreon page. We have extra content and you guys can watch it and take it from there. And we'll see you next time.